I like coffee. Hi guys, Brand here, and today we have another wonderful commentary video, and today we're talking about a misdiagnosis. But this one, it's on the behalf of Behavior Interactive. What is the misdiagnosis? Behavior seems to have come around to the idea or the thought that their game is perhaps a little boring right now. Like, a lot of things aren't going well. Things seem kind of in terms of the meta and the way the game is played. However, they have a completely wrong idea about what that problem is. They seem to think that the problem with Dead by Daylight is that chases take too long and gens are going by because the chases are taking too long. And we have seen this as evidenced by the killer designs as of late. Nemesis, all about shortening chases. The Trickster balance update, all about shortening chases. Killers that released before these guys, like, not necessarily Blight, but Deathslinger for sure. Anti-chase killers. The Wraith update for sure. Killers that are essentially like all the balance changes that have been made to try and make the game more balanced or more interesting has been made in a way that just makes the chases shorter. Now, I have ranted about this a lot on the channel before, but the most important part of the game is the chase. The rest of the game is just holding M1 and doing pressing one action button for a skill check every once in a while. It's just a mobile mini game otherwise. So the chase is the most important thing. So shortening the chase over time will eventually ruin the only gameplay aspect of the game, which is big yikes, big yikers. Very, very, very terrifying. So the misdiagnosis is that they think that they can make the game more fun by making the chases shorter so you can go check gens more. But the fact of the idea that we're spending most of the game, or at least, you know, I would argue we're already spending most of the game focused around the gens, whether it be through our slowdown or through our greeting of gens or our efficiency on gens. Like, most of the game is already focused on the slowdown, or most of the game is already focused on the gens. So let's make the game even more focused around the generators by making sure that the chases, which is the only part that actually has gameplay, is as quick and speedy as possible. Let's just do that, okay? You know, nothing will ever happen wrong there. The problem, this is a horrible misdiagnosis. The problem with why gens fly, why gens are going so fast, is not because chases are taking too long. The reason gens are flying, the reason why gens are going fast, is because gens are on the far edges of the map. And most maps in Dead by Daylight are big. Even the medium ones are pretty big. So when you have all these gens on the outskirts of the map, and you spawn two people together, and then the two other guys separate, and they're all on different sides of the map, they all hop on a gen, and they're doing them essentially in secret. And by secret, I mean that the killer, even if they find one person, the other three are going to be unannounced working on a gen, because even if those guys chase around, they're probably not going to run into each other because the maps are pretty big and the gens are in secluded areas in the corners of the maps, which makes it really, really, really hard to, like, interact with each other. So essentially the gens get done in secret without any sort of pressure from the killer, unless they have info perks like Tinkerer or Discordance or something like that, or Surveillance for that matter, to try and see when these things are happening, because you can't see them just by playing the video game, unless you're like literally an eyesight of them, and if they're far away, good luck, pal. So the problem with the game, the reason the game is boring, is not because chases are taking too long. The reason that the game is boring is because gens get done in secret, and the whole gen operation thing is just holding M1 and then pressing a skill check, so they're not having fun doing the gen in secret. They're not chasing. They're actually doing the actual gameplay of the video game. So that's why the game's boring, is because you've made it incredibly easy to get generators done, because there's no way for the killer to possibly pressure multiple gens at once, because there's simply not enough. Like, unless you're a killer that has super high mobility like Blight, Nurse, Spirit, you're probably not making it to those gens to actually pressure them. So, I mean, even on maps like Mother's Dwelling and Temple of Purgation, like, it's really hard even for those guys to pressure the gens on that map, just because it's so wide and spread out. So if you really want the game to be more interesting and to be less boring, the diagnosis is not, oh wow, chases are too long. No, the diagnosis is that gens are too far spread out. Scoot them in. You can leave the tiles. Leave the tiles on the outside. Leave the tiles on the edges. That way that like you can lead the killer away from all the objectives and waste a lot of time in the corner. That would make that whole tech that people do when they run into the corner and go down a lot more helpful. It would actually make a lot more sense, because then you would be even farther away from the objectives, you know? But this whole shortening the chase thing, like the only gameplay aspect of the game is the chase. So can we not remove that, please? I don't know. I think that would be pretty obvious especially for the people that made the game, but I guess not. I don't know. But yeah, that is Behavior's misdiagnosis of why the game has not been fun in Dead by Daylight. They seem to think it's the chase. The chases are taking too long, but in reality, it's just that gens are kind of too easy to do, or at least too safe to do. They're too safe to do, and that is why the game has, you know, gotten in the place where it is, where the game's mostly boring. It's not really focused on chase anymore. It's just doing the gens as in like secret zones where, you know, people can't get caught very easily. And now we have slowdowns versus greeting gens, and that's the meta now because of that. So that is the real issue that's going on with DBD. And if you disagree or if you agree but you have more thoughts, I would love to hear about them. I love talking to you guys. Like I legitimately love checking comments like once or twice a day and going, I didn't consider that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like these commentary videos, you know there is a way to actually like those. There's a big thumbs up thing down there. That's pretty cool. And if you want to stick around for some more videos, you might want to sub. You know, that's a good way to figure it out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If I don't see you in the next YouTube video or in the Twitch zone, I will see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.